All right, we had a chance to sit down with the head of Whatnot today, and we got a sense of what categories they're looking to expand into, how they're going to approach trading cards moving forward, whether they think eBay is actually going to do live selling of their own and when that might happen. And we really got their thoughts on if they think Whatnot is actually going to outpace eBay at some point in certain categories. It's a great interview. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
All right. Hi, everybody. We are here with Armand Wilson, VP of Categories and Expansion for Whatnot. Armand, welcome to the show. Happy to get back here.
Love to be here.
So we are in like kind of the backstage of Whatnot. There's a lot of madness going out there. It is so loud that we decided that we needed to come in the back room because we wanted to make sure that the audience could hear you and understand all the great things that are happening at Whatnot. So when we were talking offline, one of the things that we do with Sports Card Madness is we really try to bring all different audiences in, whether you are a new beginner to the space or you're an expert. So let's kind of start at the beginning for folks who maybe don't know what Whatnot is.
Yeah.
And just tell us, who is Whatnot?
Yeah, sure. Whatnot's the biggest live shopping platform in the US and in Europe. We've been around for 5 years. Really been focused on live promoted other products for our own store. Started selling just Funko Pops, one category. Sports cards, that's the big category on the app. Now we've grown a ton over the last few years. We're in a few hundred categories of 5 different countries. Yeah, we're really just trying to get product that's the best place for folks to come, collect, geek out, join their hobby, community, and get it done.
And how long has it been in Europe? You mentioned there's a couple, countries outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
When did you guys expand there?
Yes, we launched in the UK about 2 years ago. France a little over a year. Germany in November.
Okay.
It's been pretty incredible to see like the growth of them. You see a lot of sellers here, German sellers here, French sellers here. Awesome to to see the world combine. But they're just as passionate as we are about how to do.
That's fantastic. All right. So again, for the audience who's maybe, all right, this is great. They're understanding what Whatnot is. How would they become a Whatnot seller? Like, what is the process? Is it difficult? Kind of just talk to the process of how that would work.
Yeah. So one of the big things that we care about is we are just trying to be a platform for anyone to help build and scale and create a business. Mm-hmm. So for us, anyone can apply, get to apply to be a seller. But really when we look at those applications, all we care about is a seller trustworthy and will they add to the platform. So we care deeply about building. That's where we really started from. Whatnot was originally a platform for Funko Pops, and it was all built around our founders having issues with the trust and getting much of collecting Funko Pops. And so originally the whole thing what we were trying to solve is how do you make this purchasing experience really delightful and trustworthy, and that carries through to where we are today. And so when we think about who can sell, anyone can apply. We want everyone to have an opportunity to sell on Whatnot, as long as you have your trustworthy seller. It doesn't matter if you have a huge social account or anything like that. All we care about is trustworthy.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, we're trust is the biggest thing in this industry, especially tons of counterfeits and what have you. All right, you mentioned that you are, I think, 100 plus or 200 plus categories.
Yeah.
How do you go about exploring what categories make sense to bring onto the platform? Can you describe that for the audience?
Yeah, it's really interesting. We talked a little bit about in the early days, it was no one knew about Whatnot. We were a small platform, so it was we want to launch the comic books, hire one person, chance you're launching comics, and then you go and it's really manual. You have to go get supply, go reach out to a bunch of sellers, talk to buyers, try to get the community really excited about the products. Now it's been interesting because we still do that. We'll still take bets and maybe that bring more into the audience we have on now. But one of my favorite categories in the app is you talk about the and whatnot section. It's random shows, and it could be all sorts of things. So some of the new categories that are sparking up is we have people are selling houseplants, people are selling hunting and knives and all sorts of things. And you go there and we'll see what happens organically and what our users are actually excited about, and based on that, we'll then try to lean into the things that catch fire. So, always a combination of we want to take some bets on some things that could be really big and exciting in the community, and then we'll also just listen to what that's happening.
Yeah, I love that you're listening to kind of what's happening organically within your platform. I mean, that is the power of using technology, which Whatnot is a big player in the technology space. So that's great. So if you're using the platform and maybe you don't see a category that you want to see, just kind of keep looking for it, searching for it, and organically maybe it will grow and that can be a thing for whatnot. So that's great. I love that you're using tech there. All right, so we are at the national. We have to talk about that.
Of course.
You've been around. How long has Whatnot been around for?
We're around for 5 years.
All right.
It's our fourth now.
Okay, fourth national. What did 4 years ago's national look like?
4 years ago, we were in Chicago.
Yeah.
We had legitimately the worst food. It was a small booth in the back corner. I thought it was like right by like an exit door.
Yeah.
And it was tough. So we were a small player in the space then, and I think it was right. This hobby is like very passionate, and like we have to like work our way in and show that we can come in a really authentic way. So it's been the national always feels like this point in time that our team looks at as like every single year. It looks like a mile marker to be like, how did we do the last year? And like, how has like a hobby grown? How has we grown? How do we show up in a really authentic way? So it's been very fun to like see the journey. We had this ice cream truck in the first national we were at. We were giving away free ice cream for a chance to win this MJ card. So that was very fun. But now we're here, and behind us is huge 100-foot wall screen of hundreds of shows happening now, really showcasing like the scale that we like it. So we've definitely come a long way, but it's always been true to us of like you just want to have fun and like bring up a fun thing else.
And there certainly is a fun atmosphere. So people who are maybe attending the national in the next couple of days or have been and haven't gotten over to this area, it is a insanely fun area. Like this is the most excitement in the whole building is in your area for sure. It's loud, it's exciting. People are breaking everywhere. I mean, how many breakers do you have? You have a lot of breakers kind of surrounding the areas.
Yeah, we have hundreds of breakers on the platform today, and a bunch of them are scattered throughout the floor, which is bizarre.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So come check that out as well. I do want to talk about the very cool thing that you have the front of the building, outside of the building. When you are entering the building today for the national, tell everybody kind of this let's call it contest that you're doing and what's out front.
Yeah. So when you enter the national, you'll see a huge box, a PSA branded box, essentially a graded box of the Tesla Cybertruck. So we're giving away a Cybertruck to enter any of our. It's only for our sellers. So whether you apply to be a seller on this weekend in sports, or you currently sell and you're selling, anyone who sells an order is entering into it. And we thought it was like a really fun. We always try to come to these things in like fun, energetic ways. This concept of giving away a car kind of plays homage to what we did 2 years ago with the triple logo man Lambo concept that we did. We also wanted to give an opportunity for the sellers that couldn't travel and couldn't make it here to also participate. So it's been a really fun way to draw eyeballs.
It absolutely has drawn eyeballs. So just to follow up to that, so if someone's sitting at home and they sign up this week as a seller, can they be entered into that giveaway, or do you have to be here?
You can sign up to be a seller.
Okay. All right. So anybody who's listening, if you are interested in signing up, this is the weekend to sign up to be a seller. This is it right here. All right. That's really cool. All right. So let's talk. I won't keep it too much longer. There's a couple more questions. Let's talk about the future of Whatnot. Like, what do you have in store? I mean, you talked about some of the categories and certainly looking at the organic growth in certain areas. Is there any interesting categories that you guys are going to lean into? Is there any sort of interesting technologies that maybe, or innovations that you're looking into?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think our approach has always been the same. It's been somewhat unique to us. Whatnot, when we first started in live shopping, there was a bunch of live shopping apps, and they all took different approaches. Most of them took a similar approach of going horizontal and trying to onboard sellers of all different sorts, but they really weren't able to build like good density and like come and go into community and really solve like clear pain points. So our approach is always the same, where it's like when we started solving a really narrow problem, go buy collectors, and moving into the hobby and trying to solve problems there. That's what we're starting to focus on. So we have a huge parts team. That's all I think about is cars and how we can that build the selection and product that make that better. And I think there's a lot on the product side that we can help increase our selection there. So if you open up Whatnot today, we have more breaks than anyone else. Our ASIC marketplace is growing like crazy, so you can start to get a lot more interesting slabs and higher priced items. But I think there's a lot you can do on the product side to unlock different parts of the market, because we want a sports car buyer to come into the platform and see like whatever they want, whether it's a retail race spot or it's the crazy vintage like actually on card. So we'll continue to like invest in different tools to help unlock different parts of that market to be a complete experience of the hobby. And then I think we're gonna keep launching into more categories. I think I drink the Kool-Aid, so like I'm gonna do this for a while, but I'm very convinced that like anything that's sold on the internet with like a static product page, live videos add so much more enrichment and makes the purchase so much more fun or educational or informative. So for us, we just are gonna find other categories that we think live can have a lot of value to. And when we launch into those categories, the interesting thing is that every category we add, the same buyer behavior remains consistent, which is buyers buying categories. So it's really advantageous for us to advocate launching into new categories that will bring new eyeballs into sports cars and help our sellers.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot there around. So definitely, I consider you one of the big kind of online sellers now. There are competitors in the space. Certainly I think of like eBay, kind of the same thing. You do a lot of kind of bidding and auctioning and the live stuff, but you're taking it to like the next level. But would you consider like, is eBay kind of in that same zone as you guys, or you guys are now kind of trying to go to a different level? Like, what are your thoughts there? Are you guys same space, same competitive landscape?
Yeah, they're definitely competitor. Yeah, I think competition is a good thing. It makes us better. Like, we're very competitive people. But the main thing is like you don't focus on our competitors. We really just try to focus on ourselves and our audience, our buyers, and just try to like really do what we've done since day one, which is like solving listen to folks. We have our product team here, our chief product officer. He's going to dinner with our sellers and meeting people and taking notes and see him making our team at home. So like we're just here to like solve problems. And I think that's how you win in like these different categories is not trying to compete with other people. It's like listen to the users and actually try to like hear them and solve for them.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on it, but I want to highlight it. One of the things that I think you do very well is focusing on the customer experience and also the entertainment value.
Yeah.
So we were talking before we jumped on here, and I feel like you guys right now are to the point where even if you don't feel comfortable like buying something on Whatnot, it's still very entertaining. Like hop on there for 20 minutes, a half an hour, and just watch the breakers. Yeah. Watch some of these sellers, and they're really entertaining. So, any thoughts around that? I think you should continue to lean into that because that's great.
Yeah, you'll see how a lot of features that we shift is all around making things more engaging and more fun because people love it. That's why people enjoy live shopping. And it adds value for them. Yeah. And then one of the stats I love that the average user on Whatnot spends 90 minutes a day on the app, which is more than any Instagram, any Snapchat, any social media platform. It's because they're coming in for a specific product, maybe a card that they like or a seller that they're really excited about, but they're really staying for like the community. They're chatting and becoming friends and they're engaged. Just watching the content passively is really fun because we're all collectors. We're all looking for the same thing. We're all see the product and geek out about it. And that's something we think a lot about how you make it more fun.
Yeah, well, keep doing what you're doing because you are making it engaging. So I have one final question.
Yeah.
What do you collect? If you do collect, what do you? Yeah.
I do collect.
All right.
Sometimes too many things. It's evolved. I've launched into new categories, but I've gone through ways. I mean, I collect the cards. I had a similar story with most people. I go to the card shop with my dad on Sundays, open box weekend. So I always loved sports cards. I was a big sportsman growing up. I collected sneakers for a long period of time. I still have like an issue with buying sneakers, but
we all do.
But now here I try to find. I was just walking through some of the tables earlier, and I've been really into like some of these like ticket stubs or these like checks that I've been seeing. Like, you go like Darren Ravel's table and you see Tiger Woods created like credit card or like Babe Ruth signed check buying like what's equivalent to like $50,000 of alcohol. Like those interesting things that kind of take me back in time and like that context and where we used to be. I think is really interesting. So I've been looking at some like Muhammad Ali ticket stubs earlier today, and then something in boxing is calling me this year.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So you're into things that have a story, collectibles that have a story behind them. I love that. That's great.
Same reason why I think live's so interesting. Yeah. Like it's just the story behind some of these products what makes this fun. Whether it's a card or a ticket stub or it's like a vintage band teacher and being able to like go back at that point in time and be like, this is why the teacher's cool. I'm telling you the story of the why behind it, which is it's hard to get that stuff back. Like how do you take the best? And you have like an amazing negotiator, so you walk into a shop and you're talking to talking to the person in the store and they're educating you on something and you find something that's like you didn't know you needed. That's like the one big thing you can find that's like before here. And that's the one hard thing you can find.
Great. All right, everybody, go download Whatnot. For those that want to sell, download and get on there this weekend. Win that Cybertruck. All right.
All
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.